Hi, my name is James Orvis, and in today's tutorial, we're going to learn how to create one of my favourite tracks from when I started listening to dance music and going out a lot more. This track's like the Deep Purple Smoke on the Water version of first learning how to program a synth, basically. That's what I remember it as. Like, everyone wanted to recreate this sound. If you play guitar, like, we've all tried learning Deep Purple Smoke on the Water. This, for me, is like the version of that for like dance producers. So we're going to be looking at Booka shades in white rooms. And what I found out when I was researching Booka shade for this tutorial is to kind of find out what synths they were using and whether I should use like one of different Arturia plugin or something like that. And what I found out was that they mainly used like a lot of software plugins for this album, and it's really surprising because it's such a nice warm album. And I think it just goes to show that even in 2006, you could create like massive hits and good quality music with just plugins. And I just find that really amazing. Like, we've all got bits of hardware, but you can get so much just out of VSTs. So with that bearing in mind, like, I've just used Pigments again because I feel like Arturia Pigments kind of covers all of those synths that Arturia have put out in a way. Like, you can change the filters and things like that. So for those of you who haven't heard this track, I'd be really surprised if you haven't. Maybe if you're like 10 or something and you've just never heard it. Well, get ready because it's a good one. It's really, really simple. I played it out recently actually in a DJ set, and it just went down really, really well because everyone remembers it. So here we go. I can only play a little bit because obviously we'll get flagged by YouTube. That's about it, and then it just kind of grows and evolves a little bit, quite subtly as well. Extra oscillators come in and things like that. So obviously the most important kind of aspect of this sound, I thought it was sevenths. You know, when I first started looking at the trying to make the tutorial, I was like, oh, it must be like sevenths or fifths or something, like all the way through. And I was messing around for ages, and I was like, couldn't get it. And then I realized actually it's not. It's just one single oscillator or two oscillators, both on the fundamental and not like a seventh or a fifth. And basically, yeah, the pattern, like, it changes. So some of them are on an octave, and then some of them are on fifths and things like that, or fourths. So yeah, this is the pattern, and I've just got it on a really, really simple kind of open filtered oscillator at the minute. I think this track has been a real eye-opener for me, just in terms of how important it is to get the songwriting aspects right. Like, they've obviously, everything's focused on that pattern. The track would just not work without the pattern being like that, with all the little kind of hooks and melodies and stuff in it, even though it's like really, really simple. So let's have a look at how to start turning this into the sound that's on the record. So basically, we've got a sawtooth set up at the minute. First thing I want to do is switch that to a square. It's definitely a square. So we're kind of already there already. And what I want to do is this get this filter opening a little bit as well. So I've got this cutoff set up here, and I've also set it up to a macro as well. So later on we can modulate this. So we're pretty close already. And with this, it's just really, really simple. I've put a little bit of attack on there just to kind of soften it a little bit. And then we've got a bit of decay as well. Again, something that I've set up on a macro. So to set up macros, actually, while we're here, just click on the macro that you want to set up. And then same as sending LFOs around and things like that, you just go to the macro and open that up. So yeah, we've got that set up on there, so we can open up the decay. And the next thing I want to look at is probably, I thought it was quite nice when you start to bring in oscillator 2. So with oscillator 2, I've just put it up 12 semitones, an octave. And as we start to dial this in, it's just got this really nice sound. Probably about there will do, but you can play around with that. You don't have to make it sound exactly like the original. These things you can play around with if you use this sound to make your own track. And then the next thing is I wanted to add a bit of noise in there, because I know that Booka she'd love to add noise to the oscillators, which is something that I love as well. I just can't help it, you've got to put it in. So when you do this, it just adds a lot more energy. So we've got that going now. Also, the filter, I've added a little bit of resonance on there. I think that's about it, really. And then what I wanted to do, just as some little extras, is control the envelope. So macro 4 is just sent to the filter cutoff envelope. Sorry, not on there. Actually, yeah, this is one of those things where you've got to do a sidechain, which I found out recently. So if you go to envelope, and we set this up earlier, so we sent envelope 2, we sent that to filter 1 cutoff. What you can do is there's a little sidechain button usually. So let's just say if I do it on here, this little sidechain button pops up there. Once you press sidechain, you can sidechain it to something. So if you press that, it gives you all these options, and then you can choose the macros here. So it means that you can kind of redirect the macro through one of these modulations, which is like really, really helpful. I couldn't work it out for a while, and then I just sussed it out the other day. It's really simple. So yeah, once you press that, you need to boost this all the way up, and that means that the full opening of the macro will control all of this as well. So now we've got control of the envelope, which will be quite useful when using automation in your productions. And then what I wanted to do as a little bonus is add this attack in there as well, because even though this isn't on the original record per se, I just thought it was like really nice. You can like kind of use that in your productions to kind of make it sound like it's reversing a little bit on certain phrases. So that's it. I mean, it's super, super simple, but let's add a bit more. So we've got reverb as well. So I'll just dial this in. So what I wanted to do with this is create quite a snappy reverb, so it wasn't overpowering. So I just brought the size down, brought the pre-delay down, and the decay all the way down as well. So it just kind of sits behind the sound. And I also tried chorus. I don't think chorus is on the original track, to be honest. If it is, it's very, very subtle. But I tried it, I didn't really like it, so I turned it back off. Just makes it a bit too phasery. I think what's really nice about the sound is the simplicity of the square oscillators and things like that. Next, just a bit of warming up again. So again, I use my usual technique, which is tape machine, and then also a channel as well. And then just a small touch of EQ. I just use this rock bass preset, which kind of just tames it a little bit. So there you go, really, really easy to recreate that one. A lot easier than I thought it was going to be, but I think the key kind of takeaways from this one is if you want to create hit records, don't be afraid to just use simple oscillators and hardly any effects, and work on that kind of songwriting aspect of it. Like I found out with a lot of tracks that I really, really like, there's so much simplicity going on there. Like there's not loads of crazy elements going off and stuff like that. Obviously it's from 2006, like going for this kind of stuff now might sound a bit outdated. But like I said, it works. It still works on the dance floor. So I hope you found this useful. If there's anything you'd like us to cover in future topics, whether it's more sound design tutorials similar to this one, or if you've got a track which you've been trying to work out how to create the kick for, or recreate a synth sound or a bass sound, or just like there's an effect that you're like, oh, I don't know how to do that, but I really, really want to do it, let us know in the comments below, and we'll put that on our list and cover it in a future tutorial. So my name is James Orvis. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.